What up, everybody? This is Trip coming back at it with another Faldon tips and tricks video. Today, I want to cover everything that I can about skills. And just first and foremost, I'll be the first one to admit that I don't know everything about this game. So I'm going to go over everything the best that I can. Um, but the whole that is Faldon goes pretty deep, and the more you play it, the more you learn, and the more you can share your knowledge with other people. There's not really a concrete place that you can go to figure all this stuff out. It's really a lot of it's word of mouth and meeting people, and they teach you stuff, and then you teach stuff to other people. It's just kind of how it goes down. Um, so first and foremost, every skill in here, to use it, you basically just select it. You can throw it in your hotbar. Um, and when you right click, you'll use it. And some of these work a little bit different than others. There are some skills that you don't use, they just go up automatically. And what I mean by that is the more that you use a skill in Faldon, the points will go up in it. So if I go through some of these, you can see that I've got 62 points in alchemy and I'm adept at it. I got 44 points in animal lore. I'm a journeyman. And so basically it goes down like this. When you start off, you're a noob at everything. And as you start using skills, you're going to start developing a title for your character. So my title right now is I'm the tyrannical legendary healer. And that the reason I'm called that is because I have 196 points into healing, which is my top skill, and that gives me the legendary prefix. Now, the tyrannical part of it, that is a part of the alignment system and has to do with PvP. And I'm gonna go into that in a completely different video, probably like a everything name tags video. But just for the sake of this video, I'm a legendary healer because that's the highest amount of points I have in any individual skill. So, just to kind of go through some of these, alchemy, right click that. Once you've got it selected, it'll bring up your potions menu. You will need, in order to progress through these, you're gonna have to make a bunch of them. So first off, you'll only be able to make potions of healing. Once you make like a whole bunch of those, then the next thing will unlock to you. Um, and you're gonna need ingredients for these. If I try to make something, it'll say I must have a mortar and pestle to use alchemy, and I'll just kind of cut to the chase. You basically go buy a mortar and pestle from a store. I'll get into that in another video. There's so much to get into. But you basically want to collect two kinds of flowers, and that'll make your potions. And it gets a little bit more complex and a little bit more interesting as you need more intricate ingredients, which require more tough areas to survive in. So you won't be able to make like the most hardcore stuff right off the bat because you'll be a noob and you're probably only going to be able to collect dandelions and moonflowers at first. So you'll everything kind of works organically in this game, and as you progress through the game, you'll start more powerful and better stuff is going to start being obtainable to you. But but just to kind of cycle back to the beginning, in order to get really good at something, you just have to do it a lot. And to do it a lot, I mean, you right click a bunch, basically. You either right click a bunch, or in this case, you make a bunch of potions, and that will start raising your skill. So that's alchemy. It seems like I can make a whole video for each one of these things, but we'll try to keep it brief for the most part. And in some ways, you guys are just going to have to learn what all this really does. Animal lore, have that selected, and you can either click on any enemy in the game or any player, and it'll give you a brief description of whatever you click on. When you click on players, it'll give you some idea of how they've distributed their stats. So you can see that my character appears to be superhumanly strong and smart. And that's because it's looking at my stats, and it's basically, just doing the math here. And, what's funny is superhumanly isn't even as, I think you can become like, godlike and all this stuff. But there's really not much to animal lore. It's just kind of interesting to kind of get the beat on certain enemy types and, how powerful other players are. Animal taming. Pretty straightforward. You select animal taming, and then you're gonna have to work your way up. If you want to tame like dire wolves and golems, like you can't start there. You got to start at taming mice, and then dogs and snakes, and you work your way up through the taming process until you can start taming crazier and crazier stuff. When you tame stuff, you can tame multiple things too, and they'll basically be in your little party, and you can have a little squad of monsters rolling with you. So that's animal taming. It's very good, something to work on. Um, Archery. So the thing about the weapon skills here, so you see archery, axes, maces, pole arms, fencing. All of these are not going to require you to click them. They're just going to go up naturally as you do the thing that you're doing. I'm currently holding a pole arm, so if I hit enemies with it, I'll start raising my pole arm ability. And that's how weapons go up. So if you want to be a swordsman, like you just got to bust out a sword and just use it a bunch, and eventually that'll become the highest level thing that you have, and you'll become a swordsman. And that goes for the rest of the weapons. If you want to, I forget what the axes makes you. Yeah, actually, I have no idea what you're called if you're good at axes, but you can see if I'm in pole arms, you'll become a pikeman. If you're into maces, you'll become a mace fighter. So they have little names for everything that you get into as far as the weapons go. Berserker, this is kind of your I guess your warrior or your barbarian character's best friend. You basically bust that out, and it's going to consume your mana and your energy, so you're not going to be able to use spells once you've berserked, but it'll give you, I believe, I'm not sure if it's faster, but you definitely hit harder, and you'll want to reapply that probably every 10 seconds or so. You can see the little like what it looks like flies going around my head. It's like I'm flustered. I'm in berserk. I'm enraged. So that's what that means. Blacksmithing, pretty straightforward. You can repair items, and then you can start building stuff. You can start building weapons and all that kind of stuff. You guys know what blacksmithing is. Carpentry, same thing as blacksmithing, but more on the wooden side of things. So staves and arrows, pitchforks, that kind of stuff. Now this list, I can't see everything until I start really leveling this up. And since I've only got 22 carpentry, I'm an apprentice at it. It's only allowing me to see up to arrow number 3, but it's going to have a more extensive list as you start progressing through the skills. You've got cooking. Cooking is, mana, energy, and health. Accumulation and hunger. So basically just, yep, you know what that one is. Elemental magics. Now this is a part of the magic system, and that's very similar to the weapon system, where there's a few different types of magic abilities. So you got elemental magics, you've got magery, you've got necromancy, you got wizardry. I don't even know how to say this word, guys. I've been playing this game for 50 fucking years, and it's, what is it? Thaumaturgy? I have no idea. But basically, that's healing. And these are going to go up when you use the spells like Greater Heal. Let's see if I can show you guys an example. I doubt I'll be raising my thumb with Greater Heal, but I'm at 62.17. Give myself some heals. Yeah, alright, so I need to do something even better to get my magic skill up. Now, that's a whole video in itself, so we'll cover that in another one, but basically the magic abilities are going to go up on their own as you use spells that are correlated to that type of magic, so similar to the weapons. Enchanting, so this is like putting a buff on weapons. Pretty cool. You don't see too many enchanters out there. You got farming. I can't okay, so basically, I think you put down some seeds on the ground if you get seeds, and then you right click them, and that will make the seeds grow. I think you have to add water and stuff too. It's legit. It's a legit little farming simulator. And farming gives you basically ingredients for cooking, from what I gather. You got fishing, one of the best. Look, I'm a grandmaster fisherman. I love this shit. But, you bust out a fishing pole and you go over the water. Let's find some water. Let's see, do I have a fishing pole? Let's go look. Open sesame, please. Thank you. I don't know if I have a fishing pole on me. Yeah, I don't. That's fine. So basically, you would equip your fishing pole, and then you'd go out to any of these bodies of water out here, like this. I think you can fish with your bare hands, actually. Let's try that. You're too far away. Look, you can. You catch a fish. So you can fish with your bare hands, too. Um, you'll you'll start fishing up entire schools of fish and like better fish. Um, yeah, that fishing is as its own thing. If we want to get really deep into this, as you level up and become like really high level skilled in a particular thing, a lot of the times it'll grant you some like little quirks. Like for fishing, if you were a legendary fisherman, you'll basically have a chance to fish up magic books and other random magic items up on a lucky chance, which is kind of cool. So yeah, that's that. Goldsmithing. This is going to be your jewelry type of stuff. The stuff you wear down here, rings and amulets and all that kind of stuff. Healing. This is a really interesting one. This is what I am. It's it's a little bit not too useful, if I must say, but basically you go up to any other player, and if you right click them, you can see that I'm healing my little vendor here. This is my house, and I can click him a bunch and I heal him, and what it's doing is it's actually taking from my health and giving it to him. It's kind of a strange little ability there. Lumberjacking. All you gotta do is equip an axe, and then you can go up to any tree. I must have an axe. I must. Let's go check. I do. Let's put that on and give that a whirl. So we'll take the axe, throw that on, throw my spear back in the inventory here. And now with my axe, I can go up to, I think you could even go up to these cactus even, but, let's see, I've got lumberjacking selected, so I can just go up to this tree. There we go. 7 logs, 6 logs, 4 logs. So can you lumberjack a cactus? No. But that's lumberjacking. You get wood. Wood's used for carpentry, and probably some other little things. Mace fighting, another warrior ability. Magery, a magic ability. Mana Thief. So Mana Thief is very similar to healing, except it's pulling the blue mana bar from another player and giving it to you. It's kind of tricky and weird to use in a PvP situation, but I gotta say it's got the coolest name. If you have really high level Mana Thief as your highest thing, you're gonna become a Soul Stealer, and that's got to be one of the coolest things in the entire game. Martial arts, basically another fighter ability, just fighting without any weapon in your hands. There's also Katars and other types of punching weapons that will raise your martial arts. Mining. All you got to do is get a mining pick and then head off to one of the mines that you find and just start clicking the ground where you see ore, and you'll start collecting ore, and then you smelt that into ingots, and that's used for blacksmithing. Necromancy, another magic related ability. Pickpocket. So you can pickpocket other players in the game, and it will steal stuff that they have in their inventory if you're lucky enough to get something. If they have their Holy Aura on, you won't be able to pickpocket from them. So Holy Aura, I know I keep talking about this, but the Holy Aura is basically your protection against other players. Where is my Holy Aura? It's in here somewhere. They changed a bunch of the icons, so there we go, Holy Aura. So if you're in town, Holy Aura is automatically applied, and you can tell that you're wearing it if you got this little force field around you. If you have this around you, then other players can't mess with you. They can't pickpocket from you. They can't PvP you. When you're in town, it's automatically applied, so you can stand around in town pretty much rest assured that nothing's going to happen to you. But if you go out in the wilderness, it does go away, and if you want to stay protected from other players, you do have to kind of keep reapplying the Holy Aura every once in a while just to keep yourself safe from other players. Going down the list here. Let's see, we are at Pole Arms, another fighter ability. Scribery. This is how you make spell books. In order to make spell books, this is a whole nother thing too. You basically build or purchase blank books. You can build the books through carpentry, and how it works is if you have let's say you have a level 3, let's say you have a level 8 book of summon slimes, you can scribe anything up to that level. Anything up to the max level that you have a book of. So anyways, that's a whole video in itself, just like everything else. Snooping. Let's go back to town, and I will just kind of show you what snooping is firsthand. So if I click snooping, and then here's Bartle Skeet. If I click him, he caught me snooping. There we go. This time I did it, and now I have a list of everything that's in his inventory. So that kind of gives you, this kind of goes hand in hand with pickpocket, right? So if you have a high level snoop, then the chances of you getting caught will be a lot less. Then the player knows that you're not trying to do some shady shit. But it's good. So if I catch this guy outside and his holy aura is off, I know that I might be able to get one of these items if I start pickpocketing him. So that's that. Stealth, another thing that goes hand in hand with pickpocketing, in my opinion. But you basically have stealth, you right click, you successfully hide yourself, and you'll see your character becomes transparent. You don't want to be stealthed with the holy aura on because people could see your little shield, so you'll want to turn that off. And there you go. I'm fully hidden from other players. They can't click on me, they can't see me or anything. Being stealthed wears off depending on how good you are at the skill. The more you move around and goof around, the more that it's going to wear off, and you'll become opaque again, and you'll want to reapply it. So successfully hide myself again. If I want to just become visible, I can just fail it. There we go, fail, and then that'll bring me back. So that is stealth. We got tactics. Now this one's a little bit weird. So this one is these points are gonna go up as you take damage. You're gonna become better at taking damage. It's almost like skateboarding, right? The more that you fall, the more that you learn to fall, and you won't get hurt as much because you start learning how to fall. Same thing applies here. So the more damage that you take, the more your character starts becoming aware of how you can take damage. And you kind of get a little bit more defensive by having this. I think, I don't know. Also has a really cool name. If you level this one up, you're called like the Beast or something. That's really cool. You got telekinesis. This is a good one. You can see I've got it on my hotbar. It's always good to have telekinesis ready. Basically, if there's something on the ground, you can just bring it to you. Pick it up. So that's really cool if, there's drops around, or sometimes it's good if it's just messy. So if you just got like a bunch of shit on the ground and you just want to clean stuff up, because people will kind of leave things around, you can kind of just clean it all up. And I do believe, correct me if I'm wrong, if you have a really high telekinesis, you can move, it's kind of like the sword and the stone, but you can move static objects that are on the ground that you can't normally move. So the GMs have placed like some random, like arbitrary sort of weapons on the ground. Some of them are really, really good, and you can't pick them up. But if you have a high enough telekinesis, you can actually move the item and acquire it. Don't know if that's still a thing, but it used to be in the second client. Either way, telekinesis is just nice to have. You can also use it to kick soccer balls. Yep, thaumaturgy. I'll never know how to say this. Another heal. That's the healing side of the magic skills. Trading basically opens up a trade window. Click another player, and it'll open up the trade window so you guys can cleanly trade without another player intervening and stealing your shit. And wizardry. Wizardry is the, I guess it's the sum of all of the magic that you've been doing. This will go up if you raise a bunch of different magics. So if you want to become the necromancer, you probably don't want to be raising the healing thing, or I don't know, where's the other ones? Can't even find them. Like elemental magics. So if you spread yourself out thin with magics, you'll end up raising your wizardry faster than everything else. So if you want to define yourself more in a certain category, then you might not want to be using all of the magic types. So there you go. That is a little breakdown of just the skills and the skill window. It goes kind of deep. So your skill total is listed up above. I've got 1965, and that's the sum of all of this stuff accumulated into this one number. Kind of gives you an idea of, how strong your character is overall in the skill system. I guess I can go ahead and talk about peasants versus citizenship. When you start the game, you're a peasant, and you are locked at 1200, and if you go beyond that, it'll start taking from your other skills to go into the thing that you're currently raising. So that's why you would want to become a citizen, probably more than anything. Other than there's a bunch of other stuff citizenship gives you, but we'll cover that in another video. But as far as skills go, it does relinquish that cap, and you'll be able to raise anything to the max and, have a character that's fully built out with like a whole bunch of skills. If I were to stop paying for citizenship and I went back to a peasant and I started using telekinesis or healing, it's going to bring this number back down to 1200, and I'll lose basically a hell of a lot of time invested into this character. And the reason I said that it's not totally crucial that you buy citizenship is because you don't need you can build multiple characters. Like, you don't have to have a character that does everything, though that's what's kind of nice about Faldon is you're not creating a character class, you're creating like a god that can do everything. So that will help you kind of be able to just stay on one character and do everything you want. Otherwise, like I said, it won't actually hurt you. Like, if you want to make like a nasty magic user or warrior, and you want to kind of, or just like a, or just someone that's like a carpenter, blacksmith or something, like, you can take that to the max. The max skill of one skill is 200. 200 is the very tippity top. You don't get past that. Each major interval will give you a prefix on your name, like I had mentioned before, and you can see those prefixes that I've got on these skills here. So whatever your highest skill is what you're going to be called. So if I just started this game and I just worked on my farming, and my farming was higher than everything else, I would be the novice farmer. So if you don't want to be the novice farmer, then you got to start working on the skill that you want to be called. So I tried to make it as quick as I could. It ended up being about a 20-minute long video, but that is the skills in a nutshell. So again, thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe. I never say that, but we're trying to get this game off the ground. It's been around for, close to 30 years, and it's being developed by the original developer, and it's still going, guys. So if you're looking for an alternative to RuneScape, I'm telling you, Faldon is the jam. All right, guys, take it easy. Have a good one.